When I saw all of those clumps of hair surrounding me, when my scalp felt on fire from the extensions, when my hair felt rough and dry, when my follicles were no longer growing hair and my hair was thinning out, like, that was the moment for me. And I knew deep down in my heart, I was not going to go back to mistreating my natural hair anymore. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day and doing well. Let's get into my natural hair journey. So this was my hair back in November 2021, and as you can see, I was almost close to waist length hair, and it had taken me approximately 10 years to get to this length. However, unfortunately, at this stage of my natural hair journey, my hair was not in the best condition. It was shedding excessively, my scalp was itchy, my ends kept breaking, and I was struggling to maintain moisture, and my hair in general just felt so dry all the time. So I made the decision to start completely from scratch. Well, kind of. In November 21, I took a trip to the barbershop and completely shaved off the sides and the back of my hair. I kept the length at the top middle section of my hair so that I could have my hair styled in, certain styles that I loved at the time. So this was where my new hair journey began, and as you can see, I rocked the heck out of this style. I kind of just thought, I know for a fact that at some point in time I will be going back on my natural hair journey to achieve waist length hair, so I might as well just have as much fun with it as possible, because I know once I am done with this, I will never be shaving my hair off again. And so I rocked this style for a number of months. Then once I got bored, I decided to bleach my hair. And if I'm being honest, I loved this style when my hair was that color and sides were shaved. It was so edgy and bold, and I really needed that at the time. I didn't want to take my hair too serious, and I just wanted to have fun with it. As time went by, I was starting to get bored of having short hair, and I was just no longer enjoying it. And so I was just so ready to have long, voluminous hair again, but I wanted it to be healthy. That was key for me. But to be honest, at the time, I honestly didn't know how to have healthy hair. I knew how to grow it long, but I didn't know how to achieve healthy hair. I quickly began to realize that length without the health was pretty much pointless, and at times it was stressful. I was thinking back to when I almost had waist length hair. Like, have you ever had long hair and it's not healthy and everyone's like, oh wow, your hair's so long, but deep down you know that your hair is just not healthy, so the length of it doesn't make you feel as happy as what people might think. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's just me, but because my hair wasn't healthy, it just made me feel so sad and so stressed out. And I don't know if you've ever been through anything like that. Anyway, back to me growing out my big chop. So the 9th of June in 2022 was the very last time I went to the barber's to get a haircut, and I remember coming home and filming this video and thinking, I'm really done with this now. My hair weren't doing so good from the bleach, so it was starting to break. So I was just ready to grow out my sides, and I no longer liked the look of the shaved sides on me. So that was that. I began to grow out and began to go through what some might call the awkward length stage. I struggled with this stage, not gonna lie. I did not know what to do with my hair. I mean, I feel as though it would have been a little bit easier maybe if all of my hair was like the same length, but as you can see, it wasn't. And honestly, I struggled with this stage. I remember just constantly thinking, I cannot wait until the sides of my hair are a bit longer so that I can get some braided extensions put in. And because at that time I wasn't able to get my extensions in, I decided to start wearing half wigs, and these were kind of causing tension on my hairs that were growing out. So I switched that style up to gelling the sides of my hair down and styling the top part of my hair the best that I could. Then I started putting my hair in a bun and then putting like a headband around it to cover up the sides obviously and the back of my hair, and I rocked this style for actually a number of months until my hair was long enough to start getting braided extensions in. Now this is where the problems started to arise again. No matter whether I did my braids myself or whether I went to my hairdresser, my braids were just always too tight. They were always causing tension and were just so heavy on my scalp. But did I listen to what my body was telling me? Of course not. So I kept the braids in and kept constantly getting them redone back to back to back until one day I took my extensions out, and lo and behold, I experienced the most amount of shedding and breakage that I had ever seen in one day. My heart just sank. My hair strands were completely dry and felt so rough. My scalp was on fire from where some of my fine hair was pulled out because the weight of the braids, and I had bald patches everywhere throughout my scalp because of tension, and my hair was just sparse, and it was literally at this point I'd had enough. Now, I also want to add that during this time, and I'm going to be really honest here, I truly didn't love my natural hair. I just tolerated it, and I knew I needed to learn how to love it in order to consistently take the time to care for it in order for it to grow out healthily and for it to thrive. Now, I was also constantly comparing my hair texture to others and would put my hair down for it not acting like other naturals or not acting the way it was supposed to act. And this was literally the epitome of self-hatred towards my own natural hair. I mean, let's be honest, when we truly love something, we nurture it, we care for it, we put a great deal of time and effort into it, we don't speak bad of it or negatively about it. So although I would never do another big chop, I'm glad I did it at that time because I learned so much about my hair, and more importantly, I learned a lot about myself. I learned to start appreciating my natural hair because I knew what it felt like to not have much hair on my head. I learned to understand the importance of healthy hair because I knew what it felt like to not have healthy hair and for it to shed excessively. I learned the importance of scalp health as well because I knew what it felt like to have an unhealthy and itchy scalp and have dormant follicles that were no longer growing hair. Like, sometimes we have to go through the storm in order to appreciate the sunshine. So the big chop actually taught me quite a lot. Like, my natural hair shouldn't just be tolerated. It should be respected, it should be loved, it should be allowed to do what it naturally wants to do without my harsh judgments and my harsh criticism. It should be allowed to do whatever it wants to do without me pulling and tugging at it in order to manipulate it into a style that is painful and uncomfortable and that's going to cause breakage and hair loss. My edges should be free to frizz and blow in the wind without me feeling the need to apply harsh gels in order to slick them down and stretch them out, which causes them to literally fall out and damage your follicles. And all for what? A hairstyle? Love and respect for my hair was what I knew I needed going forwards on my new natural hair journey. You know, when you're going through a transitional period in your life where you can feel that change is about to happen. You know, when you just put your foot down and you're like, enough is enough. I am not doing this anymore. When I saw all of those clumps of hair surrounding me, when my scalp felt on fire from the extensions, when my hair felt rough and dry, when my follicles were no longer growing hair and my hair was thinning out, like, that was the moment for me, and I knew deep down in my heart I was not going to go back to mistreating my natural hair anymore. And that's where the self-love for my hair began. So I stocked up on my trusted, in air quotes, formulated natural hair products, and I started to build a consistent hair care routine. I made a promise to myself that I was no longer going to wear fake hair because this attributed to the lack of care and love that I had for my own hair. I threw out all of my human hair wigs and extensions, as well as all of my synthetic braiding hair, and I felt great for it. I had finally turned a new chapter and was entering into a new era of my life of self-love, which felt amazing. It was a massive massive form of self-acceptance, which I had been longing for so long, and it actually didn't come until I got rid of all of that hair that didn't belong to me and started learning to appreciate and love the hair that God naturally gave me. Now, as I started to be consistent with my hair care using my natural hair products, I started to notice that whilst yes, my hair was growing and I was retaining length, I noticed that my hair didn't feel the best. And what I mean by that is my hair strands just kind of felt dry and brittle. And I mean, it felt great when I applied my products to it, like my moisturizer and leave-in conditioners and stuff like that. But then after a couple of days, it went back to feeling dry and brittle again. And so I attribute that to the products I was using. So I switched up my products for different brands, and it would be the same thing. My hair just seemed so sparse, and my dormant follicles were still not growing hair. My hair strands, they just felt so brittle. So fast forward to the 21st of October 23, after doing extensive research into Ayurveda and DIY natural hair products, I decided I was going to start making my own hair care product. And I'm talking about from my hair cleanser to my strengthening and moisturizing deep conditioners to my scalp oils and my moisturizers. Everything was going to be 100% DIY and organic. And when I tell you the difference to my scalp was incredible. Dormant follicles started to grow, healthy and strong hair, and my hair was growing at a faster rate. My hair strands went from feeling really rough to feeling really smooth, and I was retaining moisture so much better. Another big thing actually was the density of my hair was beginning to increase, so my hair became more voluminous to the point where even my loved ones were noticing this and were like, your hair is growing out so much thicker. Basically, my hair just looked and felt a whole lot better, and I attribute that to ditching my formulated products, which contained all types of synthetic ingredients in it, to using strictly ingredients that were all found within nature. So I am now officially on my journey to waist length hair again. Hang on a minute, healthy waist length hair, and everything that I have learned from going from this to this to this has been documented here on my channel. So check this video out next to find out more, and I look forward to seeing you there.